Recording. There we go. You can go under here. Okay. Kia ora, tēnā koutou, haere mai, and welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Adventurers Guild. Last week, while continuing his investigation of Daggerford, Diocrus heard a cry for help coming from the sewers below the city. Upon entering through the grate in the alley, he discovered a young woman being harassed by a skeletal corpse, who somewhat was adept in magic. Dispatching the undead creature with grace and ease, the young woman introduces herself as Leela Windlass and asks our hero to inform her father of her safety and whereabouts should their paths cross. Continuing on, Diocrus comes across a group of fellow adventurers who were just about to give up due to the difficulty of the task. One of them, however, a halfling by the name of Ricklin, offers to join Diocrus, who readily accepts the help and companionship. And that is where we will begin this week's adventure. So, bring that up here. So we move on now to Farrell's Fine Jewels and Apparel. This long building that you stand in front of is well maintained with a neat white and blue trim. A sign above the door bears gilt lettering, Farrell's Fine Jewels and Apparel. There is a brief surge of excitement as you wonder whether Kron's forces have looted this place yet. Perhaps there are riches for the taking within, especially if the proprietors aren't there anymore. But then you think of all the suffering this town has gone through, and perhaps feel a little ashamed of thinking such things. Still, though, you reason you could put any wealth you found inside to good use by equipping yourself well, so that you can better vanquish villains like Kron. So we shall enter 31, enter into the establishment. There we go. Stepping inside the door of this shop, you see that it goes back quite far. Paintings line both walls, and you see displays featuring clothing, fine art, and a little jewelry here and there, mostly semi-precious jewels. And something tells you that with a little searching, you might find something of greater value here. You make your way down the middle of the shop, looking from side to side, keeping a cautious eye. A large portrait of a man dressed in fine clothes catches your eye. Indeed, as you are passing it, almost seems as if his eyes are watching you. Then, to your horror, you see movement within the painting, and a spectral skeleton begins to emerge from it. Ah! So now the brutes arrive, finally. to loot my fine establishment. Well, I am Pharaoh himself, you scoundrel, and I will fight you to the last. My descendants may have fled, but you will not cast me out. No, indeed, stand and fight, you cowardly wretch. No. How will you respond? I am no enemy of yours, is one option. Calm yourself. Intimidation or persuasion? So, what are we looking at? Intimidation is a +3 compared to his +1. I think intimidation would be correct here. He certainly has shown himself to be quite adept. So I think he would call out, "Calm yourself, merchant. I am not one to trifle with. You have no hope of defeating me. And besides, I am not your enemy here." So, let's see here. 56, 14 intimidation. Lovely. However, that is only an 11, so that will be a failure. So we there, and then we go to failure, which is 93. "92, 93. Begone, you vile wretch," Beryl screams. "I place a curse on you, defiler. Whosoever you next meet in battle shall get the better of you, on my honor and that of my family." You feel a sinking feeling come over you. Beryl has inflicted some kind of curse on you. During the next combat encounter, your first 2 attacks shall be at disadvantage due to this curse. As Farrell screams this curse at you, he melds back into the painting from which he emerged. And with that, the shop is silent once more. To investigate the rest of the shop, we can go to 338. I think we shall do that. You peruse the shop, amazed at how it has been left untouched. You find semi-precious gems to a value of 90 gold. Once you're done here, return to the map. So that was tab 2. Go to D1 now, as we have been working our way from bottom to top. As you make your way through this deserted part of Daggerfoot, you hear a whisper from a doorway to your right. A monk or some sort of initiate is calling to you from the doorway to a temple. "Friend, come over here quickly." He looks desperate for your help. Of course, we are a hero. An adventurer from the guild. it behooves us to help all that ask of it. You make your way over to the man, who looks to be in a state of near hysteria. "Please," he whispers as you come near, "you must help me." "What is your problem?" you ask. "It's my master, or rather, my master's tower. He's a wizard, name of Delphin, on the barrel." Of course, such complicated names. You must have heard of him. He's quite famous around these parts. Anyway, he hasn't been there for some weeks, and now his laboratory is filled with wild magic. I can't even get in there, and I'm afraid the noise will attract these accursed orcs and goblins. You must help me. There is all sorts of mayhem going on in there. "What's in it for me?" you ask. The disciple thinks about this for a moment. "There are magic items there," he says. "Perhaps you might be able to salvage one of them from the wreckage. Oh, and I should tell you, it would be foolish to attempt this on your own. Do you have someone who can help you? A companion?" You gesture to Ricklin, who is standing a little ways off. Well, that sounds like quite the adventure. I think we will go to 416. Where is it? Yeah. You follow the man, who introduces himself as Tiblek, faithful apprentice to Delphin honored Bar. Moving stealthily through the streets, you finally arrive at a multi-story building near the outer Daggerford wall. "This is it," he says. "The chaos is inside. On the second floor. If you can get in there and calm things down somehow, then you may keep whatever magic items you find." You nod, taking a deep breath. Tiblek is right. Even from here, you can hear the noise within the tower. It is only a matter of time before it attracts the wrong kind of attention. And the last thing you want is Kron's forces getting their hands on any magic items. That would make them even more powerful than they already are. Stealing your resolve, you enter the building and make your way down a darkened corridor. Investigating the bottom floor, you see that there are 2 ways up to the second floor. You could take a spiral staircase, which seems to emerge in the central part of the floor above. Or the other option is to ascend via a rickety-looking old ladder that ascends to a hatch near the back of the building. I think we will go to the stairs. We will go to 66 and we will, there we go. So that you can see the handsome face of the of the museum's caretaker. As you ascend the stairs, you hear the noise of what sounds like a bar fight coming from the floor above. Something or someone is getting the living daylights beaten out of them up there. A stealth check sounds like an ideal start. That is a failure. DC was only 10. And that is fail. Okay. As you reach the top of the stairs, you see that the cause of the disturbance, but it is not immediately apparent what is going on. A large rug is undulating, flapping this way and that, and appears to be engaged in a pitched battle with a floating javelin of some sort, and a wizard's hat. Looking around, you quickly take in the room. You see sparks and lights of all descriptions flying, whirling around the room. Magical chaos has broken out, and the source of it appears to be 3 crates which have had their lids pried off. The absent wizard, Delphin, is not here to contain it. So it falls to you to contain this arcane ruckus. Okay. Now then, I need to excise. I had 3 options. I believe I was going with the goblin with the book. No. As he is a roguish figure, I will go with the goblin with 2 daggers for Ricklin. And we'll do that. Darkness is already out. So put that to one side. Now then, of all things, I do not have a rug of smothering or... Ooh. I do, however, have a spiritual weapon. So I might use that. That sounds like an excellent idea. I did have a... Ah, there he is, hiding down the side. Now we will use a snake. Use a snake for the smothering. Come out, there we go. Now then, we go to the Wizard's Lab combat. Excellent. Oh, it's a large construct. Well, in that case, I will use this solar creature. Wizard and psychic. Condition immunities, excellent. So, Wizard's Lab, Rug of Smothering, Javelin of Lightning, and Hat of Wizardry. Myself. If you took the stairs, place by the central stairs. If you used the ladder, over there. Excellent. Okay, so Wizard Lab, there we go. So let's draw out this map. Yes, okay. I should buy an eraser. So 1, 2, 3, 4 wide. Okay, 1, 2. So there to there, and then diagonally 1, 2, 3 to there. Excellent. 3 to there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Diagonally to there. 2, 3, 4, 5. Diagonally to there. Excellent. That out. There we go. So this is the Wizard Tower. I'll use a hat. The hat. The snake for the hat. A hat for the snake. Oh dear. Okay, so Diagras is in the center here. I do have stats. Darn it. So there. You there. The rug is, whoopsies, about here. The hat is about here. And the javelin is here. There appears to be couches or something here. You're up there. Excellent. A table here and here. A large table here. And the trap door is about here. And then our objective is to get to the crates that are over here. There are 4. Oh, well. There's another thing over here by the javelin. There we go. So, with that, we shall roll initiative. That one for the lightning javelin. The big one for the rug. No, the big one doesn't fit in my roller. I can roll it. So that. Hat. What screens have purple? There we go. That one can be for Glenn, the usual one for myself. So, let's roll for the rug first. Gets an 11. Okay. Diacris is 5. Ricklin is 16. Rug. Lightning is 11. Is 12. What? Yes. Okay. So the rug has +2. Diacris has +4. Ricklin has a +3. Duplicate, there we go. Thank you. That. Go back to the wizard hat. Come along, where is it? There we are. Excellent. Okay. Wonderful. Expertise in perception and investigation. That is very helpful. As Diacris isn't particularly well versed, especially in investigation, Ricklin will come in very handy for that. So, Ricklin is +3. The lightning that is this haunted smithy. Rug of smothering. There are no combat sheet, battle lab, place the tokens. Okay. So, a wild magic field has caused this chaos. The source of it is some crates which have been pried open, one to the west of the room and two to the east. Your goal is to reach the crates and spend an action closing their lids, either with a DC 10 strength check or by some other means. The Javelin of Lightning and the Hat of Wizardry do not have stat blocks, but act randomly during the encounter. Your main foe is the Rug of Smothering, which will try to stop you from putting an end to the wild magic field. It always moves towards you to attack. On the hat's turn, roll a d6. On a 5 or 6, the Hat of Wizardry randomly fires off a firebolt spell at either you, the Rug of Smothering, or the Rug of Smothering. AC 1d10 to hit on the javelin's turn. A d6 on a 5 or 6. It activates, requiring a DC 13 dexterity saving throw. The target takes 4d6 lightning. On a fail, half on a success. If the line passes through you and the rug, then both take damage. The rug requires a roll. The javelin requires a roll of a 6 to recharge this effect. Okay. Okay, so they just go randomly. Doesn't specify when. I guess on each turn I roll to see what it does. Yes. That will do. Okay, so I want D4. D4 for the rug. D4 for the hat and the lightning. So, my collection of D4s. That one. That one. Oh, wait, no. D4 for the hat, so that one. Lightning is a D6 on a 5 or 6 if it activates. Okay. Ow, that drops. D6 for the lightning. Where is D6? I mean, one has to use the correct dice, doesn't one? Possibly just use a random D6. Heaven forbid. Okay. So that's that. They don't. They will just go whenever. So I will roll on everyone else's turns. So that is 9, 13, and 19. Okay. So. That's fine. Rock. So 13. A 9 for Diacrus. And a 19. So. Oh. Okay. Well. Let's take a quick look at the map. So there's east, west. So there are 2 over there. Then 1, I assume it's by the javelin there? What am I looking at? Ah, yes. It is by the javelin. And then 2 over behind the rug. Okay. So. Right. So first up, it is Rickland. Now then. Rickland's stats. He has 30-foot speed, which is wonderful. I don't think he will tangle with the rug. Oh, he is right next to it, so he will use his bonus action to disengage. And he's here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He will go over there. And being the rather intelligent being that he is, he will figure out that this is the cause and attempt to deal with it. So, however, he does not have a +8 to his strength, so that will be a failure for this round. That is his action and bonus action and movement. So we will just stay there. And with that, it is the rug's turn. First, let's see. The hat. Will it release? Who will it hit with the firebolt? And will the the javelin come to life? The javelin does not, and the hat fires a bolt at the rug and misses. So with that, it is the rug's turn. We'll come over to Diagris. Or will it? No, it will. It will come over to Diagris, and it will attempt. I need to do something about that. Smother. Oh dear. There we go. So the rug. I mean, sure, it has false appearance. That's wonderful. The rug is incapacitated while in an anti-magic field. However, we do not have such a luxury. So smother, a melee weapon attack, +5 to hit. Reach of 5 foot, 1 medium or smaller creature. On a hit, the creature is grappled. Escape DC is 13. Until the grapple ends, the target is restrained, blinded, and at risk of suffocating. And the rug can't smother another target. In addition, at the start of each of its turns, the target takes 2d6 +3 bludgeoning. Wonderful. So, let's see if the rug will hit. A 13 +5, 18, I believe. Where is my book? 18 will hit. That is Diacris's armor class exactly. So, Diacris is currently smothered by this creature. That is all. It doesn't do any damage. Since it didn't move very far, it will continue to move 5. So it was there. 5, 10, sure. 15, 20, 25. That'll do. It'll try and get closer to the halfling. You should have more hit points. I will say he has the same. Otherwise, what's the point? So, with that, let's see what the rug and the hat do. I mean, the lightning and the hat do. 5, 3. So they both. So, the lightning javelin activates, and the hat fires at the rug. So let's attempt 15, I believe. What is it? AC 12. So that definitely hits. It has damage transfer. While it is grappling a creature, it takes half damage. and the creature takes the other half. So, 1d10 fire. There we are. 8. So the rug takes 4 damage, and Diacrus also takes 4. And he can't deflect any of that. So rug 4, Diacrus 4. And so restrained, he can't. He automatically fails dexterity saving throws, so Diacrus fails. And the rug succeeds. So it will take half damage of 1 and 2. So 2 lightning damage. Yes. So the rug will take 1 of that, and the Diacrus inside him will take 2 plus 1. Yes. So Diacrus will take 3 lightning damage. Excellent. So with that, that is the rug's turn. It is now Diacrus's turn. He shall attempt to escape. DC 13. DC 13, strength or dexterity. So we will go with dexterity. Excellent. 13 on the dice. So Diacrus escapes. And that will be this action. He will take a bonus action to attack with Flurry of Blows, making 2 attacks. That one, and we'll use that one. And both of those will hit. 18 and a 16 on the dice. So that is 2d8. That one. So that is 7, 9 plus 8, 9 and 8, 17. Wow. So Rug takes a further 17. So it is 22. Yep, 22 down. That is looking very rough. So with that, he will call out to Ricklin and say, don't engage, just try to contain the magic as quickly as possible. Ricklin will attempt again a strength check. The DC is only 10, so oh well. Where did that one go? Somewhere under me. Ah, there it is. Wonderful. And this time he makes it with a 10 on the dice, I assume. Oh, no, he doesn't. He only he has a -1 to his strength, so he doesn't make it. He's close, though. Oh, no. Nope, it's not a natural 1, of course. So, with that, it is now the rug's turn. The rug is going to shift here and try to engage Ricklin this time, since that is the character, the creature that is trying to stop his life. However, with a natural 1, he will not succeed. So that is all that he can do. There's no point in doing anything else. Oh, what did... oh no. Okay, so... that is going to be Diacrus for the hat. That is cocked. And that's going to miss. Excellent. And for the javelin, it is going to release its bolt. Oh dear. That is 3 and 8. So both Diacrus and the rug will fail. Take it. 3 and 3, 6 lightning damage. So the rug is looking very tattered and threadbare at this point, as it has been zapped with lightning, punched a couple of times. Damage immunities are poison and psychic. That is all. Excellent. So with that, it is now Diacrus's turn. He will make his 2 attacks with his dagger this time. That will hit, and a 9 and 8. Yep, 17, so they both hit. This thing only has 5 hit points. Yes, 5. So, 2d8 plus 6. Yeah. That one is cocked. However, 7 and 6 is 13, so whatever this does, there we go. So that is enough to wipe out the rug. Move that. And Diacrus will come over to these 2 here, ending his turn, and Ricklin. Nope. Yep, firebolt on Ricklin, why not? Oh, that will hit, and that is 10. Ooh. Ow, wow. Oh. No. Okay. So with that, and the javelin does nothing. So with that, it is now Ricklin's turn. Let's just roll a few dice. And 16, excellent. So 18 even, so 17. He closes that box. And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Works his way over to there. End of his turn. Let's see what the other animated things do. Another firebolt, and the javelin does nothing. I'm going to say that the javelin will move over here. However, firebolt. That is going to miss. 8. Yep. Excellent. So with that, Diacrus's turn. He will use his action to try and close one of these. And that is 15 on the dot. So that is that one closed. And now let's see what the hat and the javelin do again. So the hat will fire off a firebolt to Diacrus. The javelin activates and shifts over this way. That will definitely hit Diacrus for another 5 damage. So that is 11, 15, 18 damage he's taken in this combat. And he's already down 15. So 15 and 18, 33. Yes, wow, excellent. There we go. So with that, his turn, another strength check. And that is 15, so he closes that. And with that, victorious, 347. Wow, that was quite the experience. 347. Finally, the magical chaos subsides. The room falls silent, and you take a moment to survey the devastation around you. If you did not defeat the Rug of Smothering when the wild magic is cut off, it explodes into hundreds of smoldering pieces, destroying many of the objects in the room. However, one relic may still be intact. Roll a d6 to see what was spared from the blast. If you rolled an item that was destroyed in the battle, simply remove it. How do I know what was destroyed? I assume then that everything was not destroyed. Yeah. You did say that we could take any of them, so they will all be taken. So there is a Dark Shard Amulet, a Hat of Wizardry, a Sentinel Shield, a Potion of Fire Breath, Gloves of Missile Snaring, and a Javelin of Lightning. So we will take those. I wonder, does that combat sheet have another back sheet? Actually, there we are. So, if victorious, 347. Yeah, okay, fine. So, with that out of the way, Tiblek, the apprentice, is supremely grateful for your help and full of praise for your bravery. Thank you, my dear friend. You have saved my master's tower from being discovered. My master will be eternally grateful if he ever returns. You reassure Tibler that everything will work out fine and are on your way. So, with that, we will move on. There was several places that we went. 1, 2, and yes, excellent. 1, 2, 20, 25. Okay. So, that is the northeast portion of Daggerford finished with. Now we will move to the northwest portion. And we will go to E3. We'll start that. Then that will be enough for the session. Okay. Durval's bright blade. The tang of metal hits your nose as you approach this wooden building. Over the barn-like door swings a sign depicting an anvil and hammer, from which you deduce that this must be a smithy. Piles of wood are stacked outside, presumably to stoke the forges. But the once busy workshop does not ring to the sound of steel anymore, thanks to Kron Vigor's invading forces. We have a couple of minutes. We shall investigate the smithy. 229. Entering this large building, you are surprised to see a smithy which appears to be in full working order, even though no one is hammering out metal. 2 large forges are burning bright, and a large bellows pumps out huge gusts of air as if worked by an unseen hand. Propped against an anvil, a warhammer catches your eye also. It seems to pulsate with arcane energy, and it strikes you that this is no ordinary warhammer. As you walk towards the anvil to inspect the hammer, you see skeletons here and there, human and dwarven, littering the floor. Slaughter has occurred here, no doubt. Who dares enter my smithy? A loud voice suddenly booms, giving you a terrible fright. Is that you, Mikhail? Young whippersnapper? I'll teach you to use my best chisel as a hammer, you little rascal. This voice, whoever it is, wherever it is coming from, is mad with rage, but has apparently mistaken you for someone else. Then, to your amazement even, 3 hammers leap into the air from where they rest atop anvils and crates, and start flying towards you. Looking to your right, you see a suit of armor rattle into life and begin stepping towards you, creaking menacingly. This is a potentially deadly situation you've gotten yourself into here. So, with that, I think that is a good point to end. Cliffhanger. And we will continue this next week to find out what happens to the valiant Diacrus on the next episode of Tales from the Adventurers Guild.